midst of the glittering K-pop world full of camera spotlights, dazzling stage lights, and the screams of millions of fans from all over the world, there is a story that is rarely really understood by the public. This story is not about music records, not about international awards, and not about the global popularity attached to the name BTS. This is a much more humane, quieter, and deeper story. The story of how Jungkook finds his home in a figure he may never have thought of before, Jimin. Many people see them as just two members in the same music group. They perform together on stage, laugh in variety shows, and often share warm moments in front of the camera. But behind all that, their relationship turns out to have a much deeper meaning than just a coworker or a groupmate. For Jungkook, who has left home since a very young age to pursue his dream of becoming an idol, the entertainment world does not always feel friendly. When he first came to Seoul as an innocent teenager, everything felt strange. He has to adapt to hard training, industrial pressures that do not know the word rest, and longing for family that often comes secretly at night. At that time, Jimin's figure began to appear in a simple way, but very meaningful. Jimin is not the type of person who always talks at length or shows attention in a conspicuous way. He more often shows care through small actions that many people may not realize. When Jungkook looks exhausted after a long practice, Jimin often secretly waits in the practice room just to make sure their magne doesn't go home alone. When Jungkook felt insecure about his appearance, Jimin was the first person to say that he had done his best. Their relationship is not built overnight. He grew slowly through years of practice full of sweat and tears. They share a small room in the dormitory, eat simple meals together, and face the days when their dreams feel very far from reality. There is one moment that is often told by old BTS fans. One night after a very tiring practice, Jungkook sat alone in the corner of the practice room. He looked silent, staring at the floor, as if he was thinking about something heavy. At that time, Jimin did not immediately ask what happened. He just sat next to Jungkook and said in a low voice, "If you're tired, just take a rest. We don't always have to be strong." That simple sentence turned out to have a big meaning for Jungkook. From that moment on, many people began to see that their relationship had a unique emotional depth. Jungkook, who is known to be strong and full of energy on stage, often shows his most honest side only when he is near Jimin. He can laugh out loud, joke without burden, sometimes even show his fatigue without having to pretend to be strong. In a world that often demands idols to always look perfect, Jimin becomes a safe space for Jungkook to become an ordinary human. BTS fans, known as ARMY, often pay attention to small details that show their closeness. The way Jimin patted Jungkook's shoulder after a difficult appearance. The way Jungkook spontaneously looked for Jimin in the middle of the crowd of other members. Or how they often laugh just because of small things that others may not understand. Such moments may seem simple, but for many fans, it is proof that their friendship is not something made for the camera. Even in various interviews, Jungkook once indirectly admitted how important Jimin is in his life. He once said that there were times when he felt very tired, not only physically but also mentally. In such a moment, the existence of someone who understands without many words becomes very valuable. And that person is often Jimin. What makes their relationship so special is the balance they have. Jimin is known as a sensitive and empathetic figure, while Jungkook often looks more spontaneous and full of energy. But it is precisely the difference that makes them complement each other. When Jungkook was too hard on himself, Jimin was the one who reminded him to stop for a while. When Jimin feels insecure, Jungkook is often the one who makes him laugh again on stage. They are two amazing performers who amaze the world with perfect choreography and strong vocals. But behind the scenes, they are just two friends who take care of each other. Many fans say that their relationship feels like home, warm, safe, and full of honesty. And maybe that's the reason why stories about them keep touching the hearts of so many people around the world. In the midst of a busy schedule, exhausting world tours, and the pressures of the entertainment industry that never stop, having someone who can be a place to go home is a very rare thing. For Jungkook, that figure is not just his family at home or the fans who always support him. That figure was also right next to him, standing on the same stage, singing the same song, and walking on the same journey. He is Jimin. Because in the end, behind all the world's spotlights towards BTS, there is a simple truth that may not always be seen by the camera. For Jungkook, Jimin is not just a member of the same group. It is a place to go home when you are tired. But the story about the closeness of Jungkook and Jimin does not stop only at small moments that are caught on camera. In fact, the most touching part of their relationship often occurs in moments that have never been witnessed by the public. Behind the noisy stage, in the quiet hallways after a big concert, or in the practice room that starts to get quiet when the night is getting late as part of BTS. Both of them live an unusual life. A busy schedule, timeless practice, and the pressure to always look perfect make their lives often feel very heavy. For many people, becoming a global idol is an amazing dream. But for those who live it every day, there is another side that is not always seen by the world. There is fatigue that cannot be explained with just the word tired. There is a pressure that cannot be solved just by sleeping last night. In moments like that, Jimin's role in Jungkook's life became more and more felt. Several staff who have worked behind the scenes of BTS have described a small habit that fans rarely know. After the big concert is over and everyone starts to get busy with their own work, Jimin often makes sure of one thing first. He looks for Jungkook. It's not because Jungkook can't take care of himself. On the other hand, the BTS magne is known as a very independent figure. But Jimin always knows that Jungkook often keeps his tiredness and emotions to himself. Sometimes they just sit together without talking much. Sometimes they laugh because of small things that are not even funny for others. But in that simplicity, there is something very important. A sense of understanding. For Jungkook, having someone who doesn't demand him to always be strong is a very valuable thing. Their journey together has gone through so many phases. From a trainee period full of uncertainty to becoming a global artist who is known almost all over the world. They once performed on a small stage with not too many spectators. They also once stood in a giant stadium filled with tens of thousands of people shouting their names. But strangely, in every stage of the journey, their relationship still feels the same. Jungkook is still laughing in the same way when Jimin makes a little joke. Jimin still looked at Jungkook with a proud expression when their magne managed to do something amazing on stage. Their relationship is not just about ordinary friendship. It is the result of a long journey filled with struggle together. Fans who are members of ARMY often say that the chemistry between Jimin and Jungkook feels very natural. There is no contrived impression, no effort to look close for entertainment. Everything just flows, like two people who have known each other for too long to pretend to be someone else. Even in some of the live broadcasts they have done, the most touching moments often appear spontaneously. Jungkook was once seen staring at Jimin with a very calm expression, as if the presence of his best friend alone was enough to make a tiring day feel lighter.